When I am talking about this virtual space of a Linux process, this was this whole space. And remember that, this whole space, okay, what's the size? Its size is 2 to the power 48 bytes. That's huge. You can never fill this, okay? And in here, you can see that, like we have like our program text would start from this location. So the first part here, first portion here, it's unused, okay? And our data, some heap, and there's the shared libraries, here's the user stack, and we have basically the kernel virtual memory, which is mapped here. Again, you will learn more about this in operating systems, and you will have this huge regions. So this is not really drawn to scale. These regions that are not used, it's actually huge. Okay, it's like a like space that you have very like much of the space is huge, basically empty, right? And in the case of Linux, it organizes the virtual memory as a collection of areas. So for each process, it stores something called the task structure, okay, which points to basically like in this virtual process virtual memory. For each of these regions, it says where does it start, okay, where does it end, what are the protection, basically things, and etc. And there is the next one, so it maintains this linked list structure to store the region, okay, to store the virtual memory based regions. And again, we will discuss and cover this much more in detail in operating systems lecture. Okay, so with this, then we can look at our page faults. I'm pretty sure you have got your segmentation fault. Right? A segmentation fault is when you try to access a non-existing page. So maybe like when you have, for example, when you want to say read this memory address, okay, and if it's not mapped into your basically virtual memory, then it will create a segmentation fault. Note that like this, when you try to access this, what's the address? It's 0x0, right? So this is null pointer access. Since null pointer access, so since this region is not mapped, okay, when you do a null pointer access, then you will get a segmentation fault because that page doesn't exist, okay? And sometimes, you try to read from some location which is mapped, but it's not yet brought into memory, and that creates a page fault. And then we can have a protection exception, meaning that if for the text region, this is where our instructions are stored, you can read, you can execute, but you cannot write. So if you try to write into this region, which you can do, okay, then you will get the protection exception, okay. And in Linux, it still reports this as a segmentation fault. So I will stop here. Like there are still like some more slides basically available, but they will be covered in the operating systems course. Still, I left them here because if you're curious, where this goes, you can look at it, but it's not included in the course.